Welcome to Pasadena, California, and to CCL Baseball on the Foresters Broadcast Network. Today, the Foresters start a 3-game road trip as they take on the Arroyo Seco Saints for the fourth and final time this season. I'm Hunter Shoemake, and we welcome you to Jackie Robinson Field right across the street from the Rose Bowl. So the Foresters kicking off another week of CCL play, but let's take a look back to last week for the Santa Barbara Foresters. It was a week ago. The Stars went 4-2. The first time all year that they lost back-to-back games. Got back to their winning ways this past weekend, picking up a pair of victories against Menlo Park. Let's take a look at the lineup today for the Foresters. Leading off in right field, Kurt Ippolito. Batting second and at short, Sawyer Farr. In the 3 spot at second base, Addison Klepsch. In the middle, Carter Rutenbar is at first. Caleb Hoover is the DH. Chris Newstrom bats sixth and is at third. On the back end, Cole Chamberlain is in left field. Zane Becker does the catching, batting eighth. And Brady Janusik is in the 9 spot in center field, with Jack Fowler getting the ball today for Santa Barbara. Wyatt Toth gets the ball on the hill for the Arroyo Seco Saints. 4th appearance, 4th start of the season for the right-handed pitcher, and gets us underway. First pitch foul off by Ippolito, strike one. Kurt hitting .407. Entering this ball game for the Foresters, up and down the lineup. Back in the top spot of the lineup today for Bill Pintard. He's quickly in the hole, 0-2. And we'll discuss this throughout the course of the game. Kurt Ippolito, one of the 9 Foresters named to the All-Star team. What a great season it has been for Kurt. Toth, just a ground ball outside third base. Remains 0-2 on Ippolito. So Ippolito, Farr, and Klepsch for the Foresters. With Santa Barbara entering today 17-3. The Arroyo Seco Saints at 6-12, the two teams' records. Not just the average for Ippolito, but the on-base percentage and slugging. On-base percentage at .492, slugging over .500 this season. Another 1-2 pitch. That's fouled back. We'll do it again. But yes, you heard that correct. One of 9 Foresters named to the All-Star team. The All-Star game that will take place on Independence Day this coming weekend in Reno, Nevada. After 2 quick strikes on Ippolito, the count's now 2-2. The Foresters team hitting .285 throughout the course of this season. That is the best in the CCL. And after the off day yesterday, can Santa Barbara continue their excellent play? And this is the final meeting of the year between the Saints and the Foresters. The first meeting was on the 10th, and the second and third meetings were on back-to-back days, the 19th and 20th. The Foresters won the first 3 meetings. Here's the 2-2. And that's into left field, falling quick, and Panarisi is there. 1 away. So a 1 down. The batter is Sawyer Farr. Farr hitting .407, just like Ippolito. And Farr, the switch hitter, bats from the left side against the right-handed starter, Wyatt Toth, who has a 6.92 ERA entering this ball game. Starts off Farr with a breaking pitch, misses inside, 1-0. And Toth on the season struggling with command, more walks than strikeouts. Locates this breaking pitch. It's now 1-1. And interesting enough for the Arroyo Seco Saints, when Wyatt Toth has typically been on the hill, he's also been as the DH, so to speak, hitting and pitching. This ball's rolled over to Flores. 2 down. But Toth just on the hill today. Takes care of the first 2 Foresters, and it's now Addison Klepsch out of the 3 spot for SB. Klepsch back at second base today and Farr back in the middle infield. So a 2 down, base is clear. First pitch painted on the corner by Toth. Strike 1. comes pitch number 13 for the starter for the Arroyo Seco Saints. 1-1. And for the Saints here at Jackie Robinson Field, just 3 wins of the 10 games that they have played. So that means they have a 3-7 record at home this season, and currently the Saints, the franchise teams in the Southern Division, have the worst record, excluding the Waves, who are currently 3-4. The 1-2 pitch is fouled off to the right now to play. We'll do it again. But Santa Barbara, even though they dropped back-to-back games last week, a nice series pickup against the Menlo Park Legends, winning both games. The 1-2 pitch to Klepsch. Upstairs, 2-2. And what that means for the Foresters, well, they're still on top of the CCL South, 17-3, with the OC Riptide behind them at 14-7. And those will be some interesting games coming up next month in July, which is right around the corner tomorrow, when OC and the Foresters play. And counts now run full on Klepsch. If he continues the inning, Rutenbar would be next. And a strikeout ends the inning. Toth, well-located fastball away in the zone. Klepsch goes down swinging. And the starter for the Saints sits the Foresters down in order through a half scoreless. Jack Fowler out to the hill for the Sturs.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Can you feel that? That little itch to get out of town? At Santa Barbara Airport, we feel it too. But when you're ready to trade the usual view for something new, don't drive to LA. Depart stress-free at SBA. With 26 daily nonstops to 13 destinations, we're one stop to anywhere in the world. Go ahead, scratch that travel itch. Just skip the hustle. Visit flysba.com and take off easy. Santa Barbara Airport. Depart differently.
Scoreless through a half, and Jack Fowler, 5th start of the season for the starting left-hander. 2-0 record for Jack. He has a 2.30 ERA. He'll deal with the top of the order, Braden Flores, Carson Panarisi, and Jacob Freer. And with the first pitch from Fowler, we can discuss. Fowler is one of 4 pitchers named to the All-Star team coming up this weekend. Fowler, Luke Cornelison, Grady Westfall, and Caleb Rogers, the 4 arms, named to the All-Star team for the Foresters, representing the Southern Division this coming weekend. Ball and strike on Braden Flores, hitting .377 this season for the Arroyo Seco Saints. And for the Saints, they have a record of 6-12 entering this ball game. Game number 19 this season. Fowler, ball and 2 strikes on Flores, left-hander. The 1-2 pitch is chopped to the left side. Here is Newstrom on the run. Makes the play, 1 away. Let's take a look at the defense for the Sturs. Newstrom is at third. Sawyer Farr is at short. Addison Klepsch is at second. Carter Rutenbar is at first base. Zane Becker does the catching. Cole Chamberlain is in left. Brady Janusic is in center. And Kurt Ippolito is in right. So 1 down. Here is Panarisi. That's rolled sharply to Sawyer Farr. 2 down. So a 2 down, the base is clear. Here is Jacob Freer, the first left-handed bat in this lineup. First pitch from Jack Fowler misses down and away, 1-0. Some good production from the top of this order, and Freer's been a big part of it for the Saints this season. Hitting .314. That's sliced down the line and foul. And here at Jackie Robinson Field, depending on how many balls go into foul territory, there is a big lawn to the left side of the chalk line, especially in left field. A number of foul outs, which typically would be out of play in most ballparks, are playable balls, and Chamberlain will have a lot of ground to cover. Fowler's been working quick through the first 2. Gets ahead 1-2 on Jacob Freer. Here comes the 1-2. Down away at the ankles. Evens the count 2-2. And that's actually going to end up hitting him. Grazing him on the right side. Our home plate umpire initially looked like he was going to give Jacob Freer the free pass hit by a pitch, but instead it's going to be a ball. And the count's run full on Freer with 2 down. Now the crew will come together after a discussion with the third base coach for the Arroyo Seco Saints. And with our crew discussing this, we can take a look around the CCL. Well, the Slow Blues currently 19-5. They have the most wins out of anyone in the CCL and actually have taken over the top spot in the CCL power rankings, up a spot with the Foresters dropping a game last week to the Blues. The Sturs knocked down to number 2 in the power rankings for this summer. Walnut Creek also notably in the North, 15-4. They have won 11 straight games. So the third team this CCL season has won 10 or more games. The Foresters have done that over a stretch. The Blues have done it, and now Walnut Creek. And with the conference complete on the infield, you're going to say it was a ball at the plate. It was not a hit batsman. And as a result, Freer stands in there. Down in the dirt, and the count now is full on Freer. Should the inning continue for the Saints? Zach Light next. Zane Becker back behind the plate today for the Forsters. In Sunday's game, it was Rutenbar, and Rutenbar is actually at first base today. He's been in the outfield behind the plate, and he's now at first. The Swiss Army knife for the Forsters. So with 2 down, bases clear. The 3-2 to Jacob Freer is in the air to left, easy for Chamberlain. And the Saints go in order. Through 1 in Pasadena, scoreless between the Saints and the Foresters.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. A registered investment advisor. Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Back at Jackie Robinson Field, the middle 3 for the Foresters, Rutenbar, Hoover, and Newstrom get their first look at Wyatt Toth. Toth faced the minimum in the opening inning, struck out 1. Man who has a 6.92 ERA. Starts Rutenbar off with a changeup, misses away at the knees, ball 1. Here's a shot straight into right, but right at Cannon King. On a rope from Rutenbar, but straight to the right fielder, 1 away. So with 1 away, that's going to bring up the DH, Caleb Hoover. And actually, the middle 3 of this lineup, Rutenbar, who has just retired, Caleb Hoover, and Chris Newstrom, all named to the All-Star team for the Foresters this season. Rutenbar, we just said it, the last half inning has been all over the place, been behind the plate. He is at first today. He's even been in the outfield. Caleb Hoover, who has been a DH and also a solid arm out of the bullpen, digs in for the first time today, and Caleb named to the All-Star team. And rightfully so. Granted, it has been not as much run as a DH or at first base compared to last year, but he's hitting .500. On base percentage of over 600 has been incredible. And also you factor in with what he's done on the hill as well, coming back from a hand injury. And Hoover gets ahead 2-0 on Wyatt Toth. A high strike, 2-1. And you combine all that together, the average on base percentage, and the power numbers for Hoover. He's got 2 home runs on the year, slugging 7. That big part of the success for Hoover in terms of hitting for power. He's had a lot of success at this park this season and also over the course of his time with the Foresters. Here's a 2-2, and he went around. Toth knotted him up, 2 down. So 2 down, the batter is now Newstrom. So one All-Star gives way to another to give way to another. And Chris hitting .361. And at third base today for Bill Pintard. Good breaking pitch from Toth for a strike, 0-1. And we gave you the arms that made it and named to the All-Star team for the Foresters. Well, in terms of field players, 5. And a total of 9 men on this Foresters team going to Reno next weekend. Zane Becker, Carter Rutenbar, Chris Newstrom, Ippolito, and Caleb Hoover. All 5 of those men are in the starting lineup today for Bill Pintard. 2 strikes on Newstrom and Wyatt Toth, even though he's got more walks and strikeouts and ERA over 6, has been in command so far. This will be in pitch number 28 for Wyatt Toth. Right back to the hill. Toth knocks it down and sets the Foresters down in order for the second straight inning through 1.5 from Jackie Robinson Field, scoreless in Pasadena.
For a full range of outpatient physical therapy services, go to Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy. Our experienced and compassionate therapists, Bill Oakley, Alan Edmondson, and Andy Eubank, will provide you with a custom rehab program. For sports injuries, spine care, post-surgical care, and more, you'll enjoy our state-of-the-art facilities and receive a comprehensive program catered to your greatest physical potential. Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy, where the Foresters go to heal. Visit altaortho.com. Foresters fans love to watch a winning team. Like the Foresters, Coastal Copy has also put together a winning team. For more than 50 years, the friendly folks at Coastal Copy have been your local source for copiers, printers, and equipment service for businesses of all sizes. Call them today at 800-995-8835 or visit coastalcopy.com. Coastal Copy is proud to be a sponsor of the Foresters radio family and of the Hugs for Cubs. Coastal Copy and the Foresters, second to none.
Zach Light, Owen Mangini, and Brandon Wynn scheduled for the Saints. Scoreless game. Fowler 3 up, 3 down in the first. The middle 3 for the Arroyo Seco Saints. First pitch is in there from Jack, 0-1. 13 pitch, first inning for the left-hander. For the Arroyo Seco Saints, well, last week they played 5 games, ended up going 2-3. And notably, coming off a 3-game series against the Slow Blues, all of which on the road, headed up north to San Luis Obispo. Dropped that 3-game series, picked up the middle of the 3 games, winning 7-3. Dropped the first and third. It's now a ball and 2 strikes on Zach Light, hitting .258 entering this ball game. And remember, the Foresters have won the first 3 meetings against the Saints. Can they find the series sweep here this evening, just past 6 o'clock local time? That's off the end of the bat towards Sawyer Farr. 1 away. And if you're curious what those scores looked like the first 3 meetings, well, on the 10th, the Foresters won 6-4, 2-run game. On the 19th, 13-9 win for the Foresters. Then the next day on the 20th, SB won 7-2. So with 1 down, here is Mangini. Fastball in the inside corner, strike 1. Last start for Jack was on the 23rd. Ended up going 5. Picked up the win against the MLB Academy Barons, who the Foresters will play in 2 days' time. And in that start for Fowler, required to run. He has been solid. Falls behind here to Mangini. Here's the 2-1. That is down. Becker tried to draw it back up into the zone. It's 3-1. Mangini hitting 208 entering this ball game. And Mangini takes the walk. Rather, it's going to be a late strike call. Mangini tossed the bat to that third base side of the dugout, thinking he had ball 4. But instead, a late strike call by our plate umpire, and so now full on Mangini. Now the 3-2 from Fowler. Big hopper right back to Jack on the hill. 2 down. So after Mangini thought he had base on balls, instead retired 1-3, 2 out. And the batter is now Brandon Wynn. 231 hitter. Bats from the left side, so a lefty-lefty matchup here. Rolled over to first. Rutenbar knocks it down. He wins the foot race. 6 up, 6 down for Jack Fowler and Wyatt Toth. Perfect starts for both starters after 2, scoreless from Pasadena. Santa Barbara Airport with 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta, Southwest, and United, with 13 nonstop destinations with Chicago, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Oakland, Phoenix, Portland, Sacramento, Salt Lake City, San Diego, San Francisco, and Seattle. With 26 daily departures, SBA's newest daily service to Chicago and San Diego ensures you can get all over the world with just one easy connection. Skip the traffic and stress of driving to LA and enjoy a stress-free start to your trip by booking your trip through SBA. Learn more and book your flight today at flysba.com. Santa Barbara Airport. Depart differently. Third inning between the Foresters and the Saints, scoreless. Bottom 3 for the Sturs: Chamberlain, Becker, and Janusic. First pitch from Wyatt Toth misses away at the knees. Ball 1 to Cole Chamberlain. After the 6-game homestand all last week, the off day yesterday, first of 3 games on the road, as Chamberlain sends one into the gap in right center field. Chamberlain kicks off the third with extra bases, a leadoff double. So the first base runner of the game starts off the third. The 2-bagger by Chamberlain, he gets on in front of Becker. So here is Zane Becker. He's been the primary catcher all season long for the Foresters. With what he has done, he's named to the All-Star team for the Southern Division. Actually, the battery today with Fowler and Becker. Be headed to Reno, Nevada this coming Saturday on Independence Day. Squares around, but will take a strike on the outside corner, strike 1. Looking to sacrifice with Janusic on deck. The way this game has started, we gave you the scores through the first 3 meetings between these teams. good amount of offense, especially on the Foresters' end. But the first base runner for either side comes in the third. And for Zane, second year with the Foresters, and even though how good he's been behind the plate, what he's done for the team in terms of statistics this season, what he brings to this team, just that veteran presence, a fantastic leader on this Foresters team. Can he work around Chamberlain after the double? Gets ahead 2-1. It was a year ago for Zane. Played in 16 games with the Foresters and actually split a lot of the time with the man at second base. Chamberlain moved to the outfield occasionally at first base as well. But Chamberlain was pretty much behind the plate, flip-flopping with Zane. Here's the 2-1. Ball 3. And Bill Pintard touched at length earlier in the season. We've touched on it a good amount throughout the course of the year with the Foresters, how important the returning guys have been for this team, and moving forward, looking towards the end of July and Wichita. And everything culminates to that tournament. Chamberlain barely gets back, nearly left early before Toth stepped off. Was living dangerously at second base. The count remains 3-1 on Zane Becker. That is ball 4, and Becker works a walk to put 2 on with nobody out in the third. So first and second, nobody out, and the batter is Brady Janusik. Brady out of the 9th spot today. And Janusik came up clutch in the 6th inning on Sunday against the Menlo Park Legends. Brought home the winning runs in that 6th inning, or what turned out to be the winning runs after a walk, sacrifice, and another walk, mix an error in there, and Janusik, a 2-run triple down the right field line, made it a 3-1 ball game, and that's the way it stood all the way through 9 innings when the Foresters won the 2-game series. Squares around here. Chamberlain's on the move and safe. The ball in and out of the glove of Mangini, and a stolen bag for Chamberlain gets him 90 feet away. Now first and third for Janusik. Took a strike. It's 0-1. Becker's held on to by Zach Light over at first. That's exactly where Toth just checked. Zane, not the biggest runner on the team. He's 3 for 3. And the Foresters known for their aggression on the bases with 77 stolen bases. Ball and a strike on Janusik. The top of the order is on deck with Kurt Ippolito. Late on the fastball, 1-2. Janusik takes the ball away at the knees. Great take, 2-2. The Foresters team that has gone 5-0 on the road this season. They're going to be on the road for the majority of the month of July. More road games than home games next month. Here's the 2-2. Lifted into shallow left. That sends Freer back, and that ball is down. Brady Janusik brings home the first run of the game. 1-0 Foresters in the third. A pop-up that went just deep enough over the head of Freer at short. No chance for Wynn or Panarisi, the center fielder and left fielder. And it's the Foresters to strike first. Still nobody out. A run in, first and second for Santa Barbara. And it's the top of the order. Kurt Ippolito digs in for the second time. Ball one. 11th RBI for Janusic this season. The Foresters able to capitalize on the leadoff double. And after Wyatt Toth had full command, retiring the first 6 in order, he has gone double, walk, RBI single, and falls behind 2-0 to Ippolito with 2 balls in the dirt. Got Ippolito on a flyout to left in the opening inning. Final meeting of the year, Saints-Foresters. That is foul, 2-1. And we just saw Ippolito attempting to lay down the bunt. Something that the Foresters pride themselves on. Their bunting game, ability to lay it down when they need to, bunt for singles, sacrifice, drag. All the above for the Foresters. Point of emphasis daily during batting practice. What will Ippolito do here with a run in, nobody out? 2-1 is down the line, into left, and into the corner. Ippolito's into second base, brings home 2 more runs, and the Foresters now lead 3-0 in the third. The first 4 all reaching for the Sturs. And a 3 spot in the third, still nobody out, and the batter is far. Barr 0 for 1, ground out to second his first time. His bunt will pop foul, strike 1. And with the Foresters putting up 3 runs, this is a Foresters team that has averaged just over 8 runs a game. 161 runs have been played by the Foresters this season. Really a whopping figure considering their 20 games played, averaging over 8 runs. They were below that in the last game against Menlo Park. Here's the 0-1. Evens the count. On the inside corner, strike 2. After 4 will be Klepsch. Still nobody out in this inning for the Foresters. What will be the damage when the 3 outs recorded with the first 4 men all reaching base? That's backing out of play. Ends 1-2. And in the last meeting for the Foresters against the Saints, Santa Barbara prevailing 7-2. And the teams played back-to-back days, one here in Pasadena, then one up in Santa Barbara. Another 1-2 pitch to Sawyer Farr. High and tight, 2-2. And for the Arroyo Seco Saints, it's been an interesting season in terms of what they've been able to do at the plate, but you converse that and contrast that to what they've done on the hill. That's where they've struggled. Here's the 2-2, and a strikeout for out number 1. Third K for Toth, 1 away. But you look at the pitching staff ERA this season for the Saints, 7.28, one of the worst in the CCL. You contrast that to even their average and slugging numbers, second best average, and they lead the league in slugging. Yet they're 6-12. What they've done on the hill has been the thing, you could say, quote, holding them back, by keeping their opponents in games, giving up too many runs. Giving up a 3 spot here. First pitch missed to Addison Klepsch. It's 1-0. On the outside corner, 1-1. This inning has gone double, walk, RBI single, 2-run double, strikeout. Will Ippolito make the jump? That's a high strike. 1-2. After Klepsch will be Rutenbar. Ippolito caught between the bases. Left early and caught in the rundown. And Ippolito is back to second base. Somehow was able to avert the tag. The ball was dropped by, I believe, Freer on the rundown on the transfer to the shortstop. Couldn't get a clean grasp on the baseball, and Ippolito just dodged a bullet. So instead of 2 down, bases clear, 1 on, 1 out, and it's 1-2 for Klepsch. 2-2. Got underneath it. Into center field. Here's Wynn. Handles out number 2. So with 2 down, brings up the cleanup man, Carter Rutenbar. And we said it his last time, but Carter has been unbelievable this year. Starting at first today, he's been behind the plate. He's been in the outfield. He's done pretty much everything except pitch. Hitting .287. For his versatility, named to the All-Star team this season with the Foresters. So with 1 on, 2 down. First pitch is in at the knees, strike 1. And the Texas native, incredible freshman year with Arkansas. Started 38 games for the Razorbacks. Ball and a strike. But as a freshman joining that program, ends up recording 147 at-bats this past season. Gets ahead 2-1. He was able to check it. 3-1. So after the first 4 men have reached, Ippolito dodging the bullet after he left early, caught in the rundown, somehow got back to second base. Count now 3-1 on Rutenbar. The DH, the hard-hitting Caleb Hoover, is on deck. Ball 4, lost him, and the 2-out walk for Rutenbar continues the inning for the Foresters. And never an ideal situation when you walk the man in front of Caleb Hoover, especially in this ballpark where Hoover has a home run this year, had a home run last year into right field. And it's interesting dimensions here at Jackie Robinson Field. It's 374 down the line in left, 345 down the right field line, and straight away in center, roughly between 365 and 370. So a left field that is deeper, or as deep as center field here at Jackie Robinson Field. First pitch was in there on an off speed to Hoover. Strike 1. Already 3 runs in. Can Hoover make it more? He went around for strike 2. The lead runner is Ippolito after his 2-run double. Runners on the move, a ball at the plate. Ippolito at third base is safe, just able to get in under Mangini. And 2 into scoring position with stolen bases. 3 stolen bases on the night already. And the Foresters have now run that total up on the year to 80 stolen bases. And here comes the manager at the third base dugout to have a chat about the call at third base with Ippolito getting in under the tag. The throw was a little bit on the dugout side of the bag. And Mangini kind of had to contort to try to apply the tag and make the play. So with 2 strikes and 2 down in the third, Hoover, who has already brought home 11 this year, we'll see the 1-2 from Toth. Strikeout and a foul tip ends the inning, but the Foresters push in 3 runs, and through 2.5, Stars on top the Saints, 3-0.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Forsters on top of the Saints, 3-0, entering the home half of the third inning. Bottom three, Ken and King, Nick Nishiwa, and Sean Asperger get their first look at Jack Fowler. First pitch down the right field line and foul. On the wrong side of the chalk line by about a foot, maybe two. And that was pitch number 26 from the All-Star Jack Fowler in his fifth start of the season. Got the ball on opening day, and what a debut it was for Jack on the 6th. Just needed 53 pitches to get through 5. That was against the Philippines baseball group, and struck out 5 as well. His first 2 strikes, and he gets ahead 0-2 on King. Hitting .306 entering this ball game. And has 3 of the 9 home runs hit for the Saints this season, and he's batting at the 7th spot here this evening. The 0-2. Fastball away at the belt height, 1-2. And a strikeout starts the third, 1 away. And that's the first strikeout for Fowler. His 16th of the season. We gave you his walk to K numbers earlier. It's now 8-16 walks to strikeouts this year. And his first pitch is aligned in the left center field off the bat of Nishiwa. And the first hit of the game will go for 2 bases as Nishiwa cruises into second. And a 1-out double for the catcher. First base runner of the game for the Saints comes with 1 down in the third. And it's now Sean Asperger. So with 1 on, 1 out, that's a ball down to Sean Asperger, the DH. Asperger hitting .225 for the Saints. And in the last inning, we said the Saints, offensively, they've been a pretty darn good team. They're averaging just under 7 runs a game, hitting .279. Second to just the Forsters in terms of average. They have the best slugging numbers at .395 in the entire league. Yet they're 6-12, and currently in terms of the franchise teams in the CCL South in last spot. Just been giving up too many runs. They gave up a 3 spot in the top half of this inning as the Forsters lead 3-0. Balls behind 3-0 to the number 9 man. Braden Flores is on deck for the Saints. Can Fowler locate? He cannot. 2 on with 1 out in the third. So this inning has gone strikeout, double, walk. And it's back to the top with Braden Flores. Tying run now at the plate in the third. Flores has brought home 19, and he lines one straight to Newstrom, and they double him up at second base, and that's how you work around some traffic. Line into the double play, Newstrom to Klepsch to turn 2, and Fowler works around a double and a walk. This game is through 3. Forsters on top, 3-0.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
For a full range of outpatient physical therapy services, go to Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy. Our experienced and compassionate therapists, Bill Oakley, Alan Edmondson, and Andy Eubank, will provide you with a custom rehab program. For sports injuries, spine care, post-surgical care, and more, you'll enjoy our state-of-the-art facilities and receive a comprehensive program catered to your greatest physical potential. Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy, where the Foresters go to heal. Visit altaortho.com.
Final meeting of the year between the Foresters and the Saints. This game is now into the fourth inning with Chris Newstrom, Cole Chamberlain, and Zane Becker. The 6, 7, and 8 batters scheduled in a 3-0 ball game, a 3 spot in the last inning for the Sturs. 3 runs on 3 hits. They stranded 2. First pitch high and in to Newstrom, who was retired to 1-3 his first time. Wyatt Toth remains in this ball game, the right-handed starter. Here's a fly ball to left. Can Panarisi get there? He can. 1 away. So with 1 down, the batter is Cole Chamberlain. Led off the last with a double, stole a base, scored. And if the Foresters can get Chamberlain moving into July, how great that would be, the returning Forester. Start off his day with a double. Goes after the first pitch, and that's sliced into foul ground and into the third base dugout. It's outside your picture, but we told you earlier the amount of foul ground here at Jackie Robinson Field. A lot of foul ground on that left side. Down the chalk line, notably right in front of the third base dugout, then also down the left field line. But it's strike 1. And that's rolled deep into the hole to Flores. 2 down. After Toth gave up the 3 runs on 3 hits, the first 4 men reached against him in the last inning. He ended the last on a strikeout, and relatively quick, working through Newstrom and Chamberlain. And now here's Zane Becker. Zane walked in the last inning, scored a run. And the Foresters team that got bumped off the top spot in terms of the power rankings in the CCL. The Slow Blues now in the top spot in the power rankings entering this week, and that's just due to the fact that the Blues also have such a good record at 19-5 and beat the Foresters last week on the 25th. 3-1 win for the Blues. And as a result, they have the top spot in the power ranking. Becker did go around on the check down to our first base umpire, and he's in the hole 1 and 2. Becker lines one into right field. A 2-out knock continues the inning for the Foresters, and Becker reaching safely for the second time today. So 2 on, 2 down. It's the number 9 man, Brady Janusik. In the dirt, Becker over to second base. And a wild pitch advances Becker into scoring position with 2 down in the 4th. So an RBI chance now for Janusic, who lifted the ball to shallow center his first time, which was the last inning. Picked up an RBI, and he ended up coming around to score as well. There's a 1-0. Ball 2. Three and 0 for Brady Janusic. And you look at the last couple of ABs for Brady. Of course, that massive triple in the 6th inning on Sunday, which brought home the game-winning run against Menlo Park. He has an RBI here. Here's a 3-0. Swinging away, strike 1. Janusic capitalize on the 2-out walk and the wild pitch. Here's the 3-1 from Toth. That puts 2 on, 2 down in the 4th. Third walk given up by Wyatt Toth in this ball game. And that's nothing new for the Forsters. When you look at their walk numbers, they entered this ball game with 129 walks. That is the best in the league. And remember, it's 129 walks in just 20 games. So the Forsters, whether creating hits, they're just getting on base, period. The walk's a big part of that. So with 2 on, 2 downs, back to the top, here's Ippolito. And that ball is down, ball 1. Ippolito's last time doubled down the left field base. He brought home 2 runs with that double. To the left side, here is Freer. A shallow throw, and it can't be picked up by Light. The throw in the dirt, and Becker's going to score. So Ippolito puts the ball in play. Becker, when the ball got away from Light at first base, scores the 4th run of the ball game, 4-0 Santa Barbara. Throw down to second, now back to the plate, and the Forsters swipe another one. The ball gets away, and Janusic scores. Ippolito down to second, and just like that, the Forsters make it a 5-0 ball game. The aggressive base running opens up the channel for Janusic to plate the 5th run of the ball game. And the Forsters lead 5-0. And the batter is Sawyer Farr with 2 runs in, 2 down, and 1 on. And he gets ahead 2-0. And by the way, it goes down as an E5 for Ippolito, which continued the inning. That allowed Becker to score. Then another error on the play goes down as an E6, which allows Brady Janusic to score the 2nd run of an inning. So a 2-error inning with 2 down. As it currently stands, costing the Saints 2 runs, and it's a 3-0 count for Sawyer Farr. A low strike, 3-1. In terms of fielding, the Saints A .953 fielding percentage entering this ball game. They now have 34 errors on the season. The council now full on far. And those 34 errors in essentially 18 and a half games. They're playing number 19 here this afternoon. The 3-2 to the switch hitter. Lost him. Another man reaching base on a walk to put 2 on, 2 down in the fourth. It was 2 quick outs for Wyatt Toth. Then went single, walk, error, walk. Of course, there was another error sprinkled in there to make it a 5-0 ball game. Ippolito, the lead runner, far with his walk, reaching safely for the first time. And the batter is now the number 3 man, Addison Klepsch. And Toth, through 3 2/3, has thrown 86 pitches. And he's about to throw number 87 to Addison Klepsch. When after the first pitch, back behind the plate, out of play, strike 1. A 3 spot in the last inning, 2 runs in here. And Klepsch in the hole, 0-2. Addy is 0 for 2. Flew out to center his last time. Toth got him on a strikeout in the first. The 0-2 to Klepsch. That's right up the middle, and it is gloved by Flores. He doesn't have a play. A heck of an effort, and the base is loaded with 2 down. Infield single for Klepsch. That loads him up in front of Rutenbar. Carter is the 8th man to dig in this inning. Remember, there's a 2-out error and a second 2-out error to continue this inning, costing the Saints 2 runs. First pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Rutenbar walked his last time, stole a base, was stranded at second. His first time he flew out to right. And at the knees, 2-1. We discussed the power rankings for the Foresters in terms of the power rankings for the Saints. They check in number 8 for all the franchise teams, the 10 of them in the CCL. Toth attempting to work around the additional traffic. 2-1. Gets the swing and miss. 2-2. That's outside first base and a broken bat for Rutenbar. Got jammed. And he goes to the first base dugout to grab a new bat. Bases filled with Foresters, 2 down, 2 runs in. Here comes the 2-2 from Toth. Full count. This inning with 2 down, a single, walk, error, walk, infield single. to make it a 5-0 ball game, top of the fourth. Runners get the head start. The 3-2. Ball 4, that forces in a run. 6-0 Foresters in the fourth. Second walk for Carter. Picks up the RBI. And the inning continues for Caleb Hoover. Caleb, the ninth man to dig in this inning. Goes after the first pitch, strike one. Caleb 0 for 2. For the second straight inning, the Foresters have pushed in 3 runs. Ball and a strike. Hoover along with Ippolito, Newstrom, Rutenbar, and Becker. All named to the All-Star team coming up this coming weekend. Could have an asterisk next to Hoover as in two-way player, not just a field player. Could also be grouped with Cornelison, Westfall, Fowler, and Rogers. The arms are named to the All-Star list, but Hoover, with what he has done as a DH, hitting .500 entering this ball game, has been so good. Yet it's ahead 2-1. And a chance to do major damage against Wyatt Toth. That's in there, 2-2. The pitch count is about to tick 100 for Wyatt Toth. 2-2 to Hoover. And a fly ball to center sends Wynn back towards the wall, and it is right in front of the wall and bounces over. And an automatic double for Caleb Hoover. And that's going to bring in 2 more runs. Rutenbar crossed the plate, but he's going to be put back at third. And a 2-run automatic double by Hoover makes it an 8-0 ball game in the fourth. And a 5 spot in the fourth. With Hoover, his first hit of the day, and the Foresters have now batted around. It started with Newstrom. And Newstrom's coming back to the plate for the second time this inning. Second and third, 2 out. That's going to miss inside, and Newstrom, ball 1. And Newstrom, this guy that spent the last 2 years at Tennessee. Here in Santa Barbara with the Foresters this summer, and has recently committed to UC Santa Barbara. So the native from Scottsdale, Arizona, after 2 years at Knoxville, headed out west. Will be playing as a Gaucho this coming fall. Ball and 2 strikes on Newstrom, who in this inning flew out to left. He's 0 for 2 in this ball game. But remember, the first 2 men were retired in this inning. Then the next 7 all reached base. That's a good block by Nishiwa, 2-2. There's that costly error which allowed Ippolito to get on. That brought home a run. A second error, which brought home the 5th run of the ball game. A Rutenbar walk, forced in a run for an RBI. Hoover, the automatic double. Here's a 2-2. Do it again. So the soon-to-be UC Santa Barbara Gaucho after playing 27 games this past year with Tennessee. Sees the 2-2 from Wyatt Toth. In the dirt, full count. And that pitch count for the starting right-hander now over 105 through 3 2/3. First base is open. Chamberlain next, 3-2. In the air to right, down the line, it is foul. Let's do it again. Knocked down by Mangini. He doesn't have a play. And another run comes in for the Foresters. It's now 9-0. Newstrom hits it to the third baseman Mangini, and the inning continues with 2 down. A 6-run inning for the Foresters to put runners on the corners, and it's now Cole Chamberlain. So Chamberlain's coming to the plate for the third time in 2 innings. He led off the third with a double, still a base scored. In this inning, he grounded out 4-3 for the second out. And since that ground out, everyone has reached base for the Foresters. And it goes down as an E5 and another unearned run. No RBI for Newstrom. The third error of the inning. The Foresters only have 3 hits, and 6 runs have been brought in. So Chamberlain takes a strike, 0-1. And by the way, that was pitch 110 for Wyatt Toth. And on that error, Hoover advancing over to third. So first and third with 2 down, 6 runs in. The 0-1. And at the knees, 0-2 on Chamberlain. Not too often you come to the plate 3 times in just a span of 2 innings. That's what Chamberlain's doing here. The 0-2. Ball 1. When you look up and down the lineup, essentially production from everybody. Everyone has already reached base in this game. The 1-2. And a strikeout ends the inning, but the damage done. A 6 spot from the Santa Barbara Foresters. 6 runs on just 3 hits. There were 3 errors in the inning, and the Foresters now lead 9-0 entering the last of the 4th.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
After the Foresters have detonated for 9 runs in the last 2 innings, a 3 spot in the third, 6 runs in the top half of this inning. Bottom of the fourth rolls in, Panarisi, Freer, and Light for the Saints, the 2-3-4 hitters. And Jack Fowler has only tossed 33 pitches through 3. Worked around a double and a walk in the last inning, which seems likely for the mind of the starting left-hander like a day ago. After that long wait in that first base dugout, first pitch was in there on a strike on Panarisi. Was able to induce the line out in the last to work around the double and the walk. Ball and a strike on Panarisi. Jack got him on a ground up to short in the opening inning. In the air to right, Ippolito doesn't have a play at it, falls right in front of him. And a leadoff single starts the fourth for the Saints. Just the second hit of the ball game. And it's now Jacob Freer. 1 on, nobody out. Freer, the shortstop, retired in left his first time. That ball past Becker, and after the single, Panarisi takes second base, and a 3-0 count now for Jacob Freer. And remember that long wait for Jack in that first base dugout. And a unique day here in Pasadena. Typically when the Foresters come down to play here at Jackie Robinson Field, it is typically scorching, sun's out, gets quite hot in those dugouts, but here tonight, it was overcast, cool, and a very nice evening from LA. Here's a 3-0. That's on the outside corner, 3-1. Fowler gets himself back in it. It's actually pretty unique. It was nice and sunny in Santa Barbara and all gloomy and overcast here. If anything, it's typically flip-flopped. The morning gray in Santa Barbara and clear skies in Pasadena. Different story today. That puts 2 on, nobody out in the fourth. Second walk given up by Fowler. After the Panarisi single, Freer works a walk, and it's now Zach Light. And it's interesting how this game started. Both starters perfect through 2. Notably for Wyatt Toth, then gave up the 3 spot, then 6 runs in the top half of this inning. First real challenge for Fowler in his outing. In terms of working around traffic, he was in a similar spot in the last inning when there was 2 on, but at that point, there was a single out. Here's the 0-1. Ball and strike. The lead runner for the Saints is Panarisi. 2-1 on Light, who is 0 for 1, ground out to short. And here comes Earl Carruthers, the first base dugout. And for Fowler, an all-star, 5th start of the season. Through 15 2/3. His first 4 outings. 15 strikeouts to 8 walks, a 2.30 ERA. Made a big impact on his debut on opening day, going 5, just 53 pitches against the Philippines. In a ball game in which the Foresters won 13-1. But in their final game of the year against the Arroyo Seco Saints, they lead 9-0 after an explosion of 9 runs in 2 innings. Here's the 2-1. To the right side, straight to Rutenbar, goes to second, gets the force out, and to first, safe, with Fowler covering on the attempted 3-6-1. So runners on the corners, light reaching on the fielder's choice. The force out at second for the first out of the inning. Fielder's choice advanced Panrisi over to third. So runners on the corners, one away for Owen Mangini. Ball 1. That was pitch number 47 for Jack. Got Mangini on a ground out right back to the hill. Retired the man at the plate his first time, 1-3. And at the knees, strike 2. Mangini is a guy that's brought home 5 this season. He's got Panrisi 90 feet away from the first run of the ball game for the Saints. Sac fly in play here for the starting third baseman. But Fowler gets ahead. The 1-2 pitch. That is up the middle. Klepsch flips to first. They got them both. And a 4-6-3 gets out of the jam once again for Jack Fowler. Puts up the 0. This game is through 4. Sturs on top by 9.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
Fifth inning, Foresters on top 9-0. Here is Zane Becker leads off for the Foresters. Check swing. It's a strike, 0-1. So Becker, Janusic, Ippolito with a new pitcher now into the ballgame. Lincoln Lyons takes over after the starter goes 4. And that was Wyatt Toth. So 0-1 on Becker. And Zane is 1 for 1 with a walk. He has scored 2 runs in the whole 0-2. And Lyons is a familiar arm. First time that the Foresters played the Saints this season, Lyons got the ball and started, ended up going 4. There's the 0-2. Got him on 3 pitches, 1 away. So with 1 down, the batter is Janusic, just like Becker, entering this inning 1 for 1 with a walk. Brady has scored 2 runs, brought home a run. In a lineup that has already seen every man reach base for the Foresters. Lyons starts him off with a breaking pitch, down and away, ball 1. And in that first meeting when Lyons started, ended up going 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 3 punch-outs against the Foresters. And in that ballgame, Chris Newstrom led off. Janusic was batting in the 2-hole. And against the Lions, Janusic ended up going 0 for 2. He struck out, did reach on an error, scored a run. Here's the 1-1. Just away at the knees for ball 2. Nine runs smushed in the last 2 innings for the Foresters. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Janusic with Ippolito on deck. It was an inning, last inning, where the Foresters, the 6 runs on just 3 hits, capitalized on 3 errors. 2-2 from Lyons. Into foul ground on the right side. Light has some room. And it will be the second baseman Flores to make the play. 2 down. Now with 2 down. Back to the top. And this is the 5th inning. Our 5th inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's has 2 locations in Santa Barbara, 1 on Lower State Street and 1 in Goleta. Finney's is a great place to gather before or after any Foresters game. Finney's Craft House. First pitch swinging for Ippolito, sends wind back, but that ball going back, and it is very gone. Kurt Ippolito, the solo shot with 2 out in the 5th, makes it a 10-0 ball game here in Pasadena. So Ippolito is now 2 for 4. He had a 2-run double in the 3rd, stole a base. And the solo shot with 2 down in the 5th to make it a 10-0 ball game. The batter is far. Broken bat as that's sheared off over the 3rd base dugout. Strike 1. And that home run by Ippolito brought to us by our friends at the Santa Barbara Airport. Thank you to SBA for sponsoring that Foresters home run with Santa Barbara Airport. So after the fresh twig grabbed by Farr, with 2 down, 1 run in, here's the 0-1 from Lincoln Lyons. Knotted him up. He went around for strike 2. far as last time, worked to walk, scored. He's also struck out and grounded out. So Sawyer 0 for 2 in this game. And in the hole, 0-2. Farr sees a ball in the dirt. 1-2. And the Foresters team, after their 2-game set against the Menlo Park Legends, have won 2-0. Or have won 2 straight games, rather. Going 2-0 against Menlo Park. Looking to continue that momentum for 3 games on the road entering the All-Star break, quote-unquote. BU's gone traditionally professional All-Star break, but a little bit of a change in schedule. Actually, a very big change in schedule. Here's a 2-2, and here's a towering shot into right, and the Foresters go back-to-back. Sawyer Farr, first home run of the summer, and back-to-back 2-out solo shots by the Foresters in the 5th. And the damage in this game for the Foresters has been with 2 down. In the last inning when the Foresters pushed in 6, the first 2 were retired. 6 runs came around with 2 out. 2 pretty quick outs for Lincoln Lions and 2 home runs. And that's a ball inside to Addison Klepsch. Ball 1. Now 11-0 Foresters as Klepsch turns on one. That's a mile foul. It would have had the distance, and that ball was hammered. Though at about probably 50 yards left of the foul pole. It's 1-1. A high strike, 1-2. Klepsch in this game is 1 for 3. Infield single his last time. Kept that train chugging along with 2 out in the 4th. Came around to score on the double by Hoover. That's foul. 1-2. We'll just reiterate it one more time. 8 straight reached base with 2 down in the last inning. And that's something the Foresters and Bill Pintard always talk about. The ability to keep that line moving, regardless of how many outs there are on the scoreboard. And in this inning, back-to-back home runs with 2 out. It's now a 1-2 pitch to Klepsch. 2-2. After the Foresters dropped back-to-back games for the first time this season, remember they just have 3 losses, period. Coaching staff wanted to make sure that that was an anomaly and would not snowball. Safe to say with the 2 wins this past weekend and jumping out to an 11-0 lead, top of the 5th inning, Foresters right back to their quality baseball. The count's now full on Klepsch. Should the inning continue, it'll be Rutenbar. The inning continues. Klepsch reaching safely for the 2nd time this ball game. And that's going to bring up Carter Rutenbar. 0 for 1. He has walked his last 2 times. Has stolen the base, brought home a run, and scored. If you're just joining us, Rutenbar, one of 9 Foresters named to the All-Star team, which will be on Independence Day, the CCL Showcase game in Reno, Nevada, the AAA park for the Reno Aces. And Rutenbar starting at first base today. He's been behind the plate. He's been in the outfield. Does everything for the Foresters. Walked twice today with 1 on, 2 down. That's a strike. 1-1. In Game 2 of this season series, the Foresters won 13-9 and right now up 11-0, top of 5. The first meeting was decided by 2 runs. The last meeting on the 20th was a 7-2 victory for the Foresters. And for the for the third straight inning, the Foresters have played at least 1 run. That's in the dirt, handled by Nishiwa. 2-1. And again, it's remarkable after Lions really relatively quick 2 outs. Got a strikeout and a quick foul out. The home run. A grindy plate appearance by Klepsch. Base on balls. It's now 2-1 on Rutenbar, who gets ahead 3-1. After him is a hard-hitting Caleb Hoover. The count's now full. Klepsch gets an early run with 2 down in the 5th. 3-2 to Rutenbar. Foul will do it again. Foresters, of course, playing the Saints today. Tomorrow, a shorter road trip down south to Ventura to take on the Conejo Oaks, then the Academy Barons on Thursday down in Compton, the MLB Youth Academy. But right now, the 3-2 again is hard hit, and that bounces over Light's glove at first. And Klepsch to third base to put runners on the corners in the 5th. That took a horrible hop right in front of Zach Light's glove at first base. Was at ground level and then probably bounced 3 feet over his glove. So the inning continues with 2 out. And it's now Caleb Hoover, who bunny hopped the center field fences last time for a 2-run automatic double. And it's going to go down as an error to continue the inning. So Rutenbar now 0 for 2 with his 2 walks. Now, at first glance, thought that might be a base hit. Considering it's hit pretty hard, along with a horrible hop in front of the first baseman. But instead it goes down as an E3 and the 4th error of the ball game on the Saints to keep the line moving. First and third, 2 down. It's Caleb Hoover. Ball 1. And just now, that last play changed to a hit. It's Carter Rutenbar. Likely the correct scoring. So the 2-out knock for Rutenbar, and it's now 1-1 on Caleb Hoover. That's in straight to Flores at second to retire the side. But the Sturs tack on 2 more back-to-back home runs. Ippolito in far. The Foresters continue to chug with 2 out. It's now 11-0 in the 5th.
Can you feel that? That little itch to get out of town? At Santa Barbara Airport, we feel it too. But when you're ready to trade the usual view for something new, don't drive to LA. Depart stress-free at SBA. With 26 daily nonstops to 13 destinations, we're one stop to anywhere in the world. Go ahead, scratch that travel itch. Just skip the hustle. Visit flysba.com and take off easy. Santa Barbara Airport. Depart differently.
Bottom of the Finney's fifth inning, pitch and change for the Foresters. Henry Prindle takes over, the right-handed reliever. 11-0 Foresters, last of the fifth. Ball upstairs starts off the plate appearance to Brandon Wynn. It's Wynn, then King, then Nishiwa, 6, 7, 8. If anyone gets on, Asperger. Ball and a strike on Wynn after Jack Fowler, the starter, ends up going 4. 4 shutout innings for Jack, just allowed 2 hits, 2 walks, and 1 punch-out for Fowler. And per CCL regulation, any Forester, any pitcher that ends up going 4 and exits the ball game with the lead in line for the victory. So Fowler. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brandon Wynn. Here's the 2-2 from Prindle. Broken bat into center field, and that ball is down. And the single starts off the fifth, off the bat of Wynn. We last saw Henry Prindle on the 26th. That was against the San Diego Waves. In the losing effort for the Foresters, lost by 2. Prindle was the first man out of the bullpen after Zane Burns went 4. 2 solid shutout innings from Prindle, no hits, allowed 1 walk, no strikeouts in his last outing. Has to work around a leadoff single. Here's the 0-1 to Cannon King. It'll have to wait over to first. And they got him picked off of first base. Wynn was trying to get his secondary lead and picked off. Fantastic move by Prindle, 1 away. So that takes care of the leadoff single. Base is clear, 1 out. The next pitch is in there at the knees on Cannon King. Strike 2. Fowler got King on a strikeout in the 3rd. 0-2 from Prindle. In the air to center. Janusik over, 2 down. And this 5th inning brought to us by our friends at Finney's Craft House. Finney's has 2 locations in Santa Barbara, 1 on Lower State Street and 1 in Goleta. Finney's is a great place to gather before or after any Foresters game. Finney's Craft House. So with 2 down, the batter is Nick Nishiwa. Was the first man to reach base for the Saints in the 3rd. He had a 1-out double. First pitch missing away at the knees from Prindle, 1-0. Backing out of play, evens the count 1-1. So 3 scattered hits in this ball game, and Jack Fowler, the starter, did well to turn 2 double plays, or one was a line out and a ground ball double play into the last inning. So Fowler was able to work around some traffic. Prindle, that great pickoff move, clears the bases and now gets ahead 1-2 on Nick Nishiwa. 11-0 Foresters, bottom of 5. And a strikeout ends the inning. Prindle just has to face the minimum, works around the leadoff single. After 5, Sturs on top. Santa Barbara Airport with 5 airlines: American, Alaska, Delta, Southwest, and United, with 13 nonstop destinations including Chicago, Dallas, Denver, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Oakland, Phoenix, Portland, Sacramento, Salt Lake City, San Diego, San Francisco, and Seattle. With 26 daily departures, SBA's newest daily service to Chicago and San Diego ensure you can get all over the world with just one easy connection. Skip the traffic and stress of driving to Los Angeles and enjoy a stress-free start to your trip by flying SBA. Learn more and book your flight today at flysba.com. Santa Barbara Airport. Depart differently. First pitch swinging for Chris Newstrom, and Newstrom is on for the second time today, leads off the 6th with a single. Newstrom, Chamberlain, Becker, the scheduled batters for the Foresters. Janusik will be also scheduled in this inning now with Newstrom reaching base. 11-0 Foresters. There was a pitch and change. Griffin Rogers takes over for Lincoln Lions. Lions ends up going 1. So Rogers takes over, 1 on, nobody out, and the batter is Cole Chamberlain. That's in there. Strike 1. So the left-handed reliever, Rogers, faces the left-handed bat of Chamberlain. The Foresters have scored in the last 3 innings. Here's the 0-1. Nice pickup by Nishiwa. Ball and a strike. Chamberlain today is 1 for 3. As Cade grounded out, led off the third with a double, stole a base, and scored. After Cole will be Zane Becker. So the Foresters, 3 runs in the third, 6 runs in the fourth, 2 runs in the fifth. And Griffin Rogers, after giving up the leadoff single off the first pitch, the 1-2 to Chamberlain, 2-2. 11 runs on 10 hits for the Sturs. Also able to capitalize on 3 errors, which all occurred in the 4th inning. An inning where the Foresters pushed in 6 on just 3 hits, maximizing the run production with those 3 errors. Chamberlain takes a ball down, full count. Cole finds himself in the 7-hole today, also in left field for the legendary manager Bill Pintard in his 32nd year at the helm for the Foresters. 3-2 once again. That's outside first. And it is worth noting here in Pasadena, a couple Forester alumni in attendance, just the relationships built. Being a Forester for all these different players, you've heard in the past about, or you just hear, you come across guys, oh yeah, there's a Forester, and the family that Bill Pintard creates is second to none here in Santa Barbara. It's another 3-2. That puts 2 on, nobody out in the 6th. Chamberlain reaches for the 2nd time today. And to finish that thought on some alumni here at Jackie Robinson Field, it's been said that Bill Pintard, master at building chemistry. It's not about getting the best players, but getting the right players. And you can see all the people that have come through the Foresters and all the different players, what a big impact A, being on this team has been, and also B, what Bill Pintard has been able to do and the impacts that he's had. So many lives of young men that come to Santa Barbara. That's down the line off the bat of Becker and into the corner. Zhang collects his 2nd hit of the day. Chamberlain comes to the plate from first, and a 2-run double from Zane Becker to make it a 13-0 lead for the Foresters in the 6th. First pitch swinging, a worm burner into the corner. And the first 3 men have reached base for the Foresters. And for the 4th straight inning, the Sturs plating runs. Still nobody out. And the batter is Janusic. Wait, the knees, ball 1. And Brady is 1 for 2 today. His last time fouled out to the right side. He's walked, scored twice, an RBI, and a base hit to shallow right. Gets ahead 2-0, and Griffin Rogers, since entering this ball game, has been on constant duress. Single walk double is how it's gone in this inning. 13-0 Sturs. After Janusic is Ippolito. Here comes the 2-1 from Rogers. Away, ball 3. And we said it earlier, but for the Saints, their Achilles heel this season has been the amount of runs that they've conceded. They've been scoring pretty consistently. Good number of runs a game, averaging just under 7 runs a game, but an ERA of over 7. And the Foresters capitalizing here. Count is now full. Becker at second, 2 runs in, nobody out. 3-2 from Griffin Rogers. Struck him out on the foul tip, 1 away. So 1 on, 1 out. 2 runs in. It's now Kurt Ippolito. Digs in already for the 5th time this ball game. Swinging away on the first pitch. He's feeling it after a moonshot straight away into center field, and no doubter for his first home run of the season. He's also doubled into left. He's brought home 3. That's in there, 0-2. Ippolito, an all-star this year. Again, he's a guy in his second year with the Foresters. Did not play in Santa Barbara a year ago. Was on the 24 team. Did not play a whole lot. One on, 1 out. This is the 1-2. That's outside first. Actually at the plate now, Aiden Camberg. See that pull. View slightly obstructed and was never announced. The pinch hitter, so Camberg hitting for Ippolito with 1 on, 1 out. Here's the 1-2, and Aiden gets back into the count, 2-2. The ball gets away, and over to third goes Zane Becker. So Camberg hitting out of the top spot for Ippolito, whose day is complete. Ends up going 2 for 4. The double and the home run. In this 13-0 ball game, great to see Aiden Camberg at the plate for the Foresters after his 20 games with Pepperdine this past year. So familiar with Santa Barbara. Can he get on with 1 out and 1 on in the 6th? 2-2. That's going to hit him. A hit batsman puts runners on the corners with 1 out in the 6th.
Ouch. That looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
So Aiden Camberg, first plate appearance. He gets on, and another pinch hitter. Landon Schaefer hits out of the 2-hole for far. Strike 1. Farr ends up going 1 for 3. His home run his last time also walked. And Schaefer quickly in the hole, 0-2. The next two men, Klepsch and Rutenbar, who started this game. The 0-2 to Schaefer is away. Ball one. This inning has gone single, walk, double. Strikeout, hit batsman. And it's now 2-2 for the pinch hitter, Landon Schaefer. Schaefer strikes out, 2 down. So 2 down. It's now Addison Klepsch. Addy reaching safely his last 2 times. He's 1 for 3. And for the 4th straight inning coming to the plate in this 11-13 ball game. That's in and out of the glove. That's going to plate the 14th run of the ball game for the Foresters. Advances Camber down to second. Likely on the pass ball. Becker plates the run. 14-0 Foresters in the 6th. And there have been some games where the Foresters have pushed in upwards to 20 runs. Last time the Foresters played the Philippines, pushed in 14. Won that ball game 14-1. Right now, a shutout going against the Saints. The 1-0 to Klepsch. Got underneath it. Back now to play 1-1. A 3-run 6th for the Sturs. 1-1 from Rogers. That's in 1-2. Sun getting lower in the sky here. Not too quickly. The remaining ambient light will disappear quickly. 1-2. Got him on the outside corner to end the inning. But the Foresters tack on 3 more runs through 5.5. Santa Barbara on top 14-0 over the Saints.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Bottom of the 6th, Sean Asperger leads off. First pitch in there from Henry Prindle back to work after facing the minimum in the Finneys 5th inning. 14-0 now, Foresters on top of the Saints. The Stars have scored in every inning since the third. A couple of changes defensively. Camberg, who pinch hit, remains in the ballgame in right field. Landon Schaefer is at third. That pushes Chris Newstrom over to short. So the three changes defensively. And a 2-1 count now to Sean Asperger as he stands in for just the second time this ball game. You compare the two number 9 hitters. Asperger is recording just his second plate appearance. Brady Janusik, who starts at the 9 spot, has already come around 4 times. 3-1 count now to Asperger, who walked. That was against Fowler in the third in his first plate appearance. On the inside corner, full count. Top of the order next with Flores, then Panarisi. And a towering fly ball into right sets Camberg back right in front of the track, but that ball is gone, and Sean Asperger gets the Saints on the board. A leadoff home run starts the 6th. Second home run of the year for the DH. Tees off in the 6th. So leadoff home run. It's now to the top of the order with Braden Flores. Goes after the first pitch, strike 1. And as it just hit 8 o'clock local time in Los Angeles, we appreciate you joining us. I know a lot of the players, Central Time Zones, a lot of players from Texas, from the southern states. As this ball's lined into center, Janusik is there to record out number 1. But thanks for joining us on the Foresters Broadcast Network. I know it can be some late nights over on the East Coast in the different parts of the country. So with 1 down, bases clear, it's now Carson Panarese, who's 1 for 2. Singled his last time, but that was still against Jack Fowler. And that is a base hit to center. So Panarese is now 2 for 3. Gets on in front of Freer. Starting shortstop today, 0 for 1, walked his last time in the 4th. So a 14-1 ball game, 1 on, 1 out. Just missing upstairs from Henry, ball 1. And as this game progresses, and more reliance on the lights overhead, if you were with us our last 2 times here at Jackie Robinson Field, there are unique lights here right across from the Rose Bowl. It's an odd texture. The lights are not great. Granted, this game is 14-1, but that definitely makes an impact on even ground balls and fly balls. Even when the ball's struck by the bat, sometimes a split second where you don't quite know where it is. Freer sees a ball in the dirt. Becker did just enough. Hucks it down to second. It's a high throw. Panarese over to third. It's now 2-2 on Freer. It was never announced after the last half inning, but a new catcher taking over, Liam Wilson, behind the plate. Panarisi at third, 2-2 pitch. Got him on the outside corner. Freer goes down looking, 2 out. So a 2 down. Ball upstairs to Zach Light. Light is 0 for 2. Bounced into his fielder's choice and is grounded out to short. Panarisi dancing on the ball in the dirt to second, then errant throw over to third. Ball and strike on Zach Light. We'll reiterate the changes one more time to you. So Wilson is now behind the plate. Becker, his last time at the plate, recorded a double. Liam Wilson takes over behind the plate for Zane. Schaefer, who pinch hits at third, that slid Chris Newstrom over to short. And Aiden Kamberg is in right. This inning started with a home run. With 2 down. Brindle looks to end it right here. Light sees the ball high and away, 2-2. A strikeout ends the inning. Back-to-back Ks for Henry Prindle. One's left stranded for the Saints. This game's on to the 7th. Stars on top 14-1 over Arroyo Seco.
Foresters fans love to watch a winning team. Like the Foresters, Coastal Copy has also put together a winning team. For more than 50 years, the friendly folks at Coastal Copy have been your local source for copiers, printers, and equipment service for businesses of all sizes. Call them today at 800-995-8835 or visit coastalcopy.com. Coastal Copy is proud to be a sponsor of the Foresters radio family and of the Hugs for Cubs. Coastal Copy and the Foresters, second to none.
Seventh inning rolls in. Foresters Saints 14-1. First pitch is in there to Carter Rutenbar, then Caleb Hoover, Chris Newstrom, the 3 scheduled batters for the Foresters in the final meeting of the year between the Saints and the Foresters. And a 13-run advantage for SB. Griffin Rogers, left-handed reliever, remains in this game. And 2 quick strikes on Carter Rutenbar. Carter's 1 for 2 today. He's walked twice, scored, brought home a run. He's also stolen a base. And a very productive day from Carter. Another man recently named to the All-Star team coming up this weekend. If you're joining us late, the Foresters, 9 men named to the All-Star team. In terms of field players, Becker, Rutenbar, Newstrom, Ippolito, and Hoover. Actually, all 3 men scheduled in this inning. All-Stars this year. That's bounded right to Light at first. 1 away. Jack Fowler, the starter, one of 4 arms named to the All-Star list along with Cornelison, Westfall, and Rogers. So with 1 down, bases clear. Here is Caleb Hoover. You could also include Caleb's name, what he's done on the hill. He has been rock solid when he's taken the bump this season, but he's been incredible at the plate. Mainly been the DH this year. He's also split some time with the DH duty. Nick Salmon. Comes the 1-0 to Caleb. Ball 2. And that DH spot is also I've seen Cole Chamberlain, Addison Klepsch in that DH spot, but mainly Salmon and Hoover have been the consistent men as a designated hitter. That's fouled down and straight into Nishiwa. So it's going to be 2 balls and a strike on Caleb, then Chris Newstrom in this inning. And the Foresters, who play their 21st game this evening, part of a 24-game regular season schedule leading up to Wichita at the end of July. Always the objective to win the NBC. Foresters have done it 10 times, last of which was in 22. Bill Pintard's unit last year came up a couple games short, getting knocked down in the quarterfinals after going perfect in the group stage. The way the NBC is set up is much like the World Cup, group stage, and then you advance to single elimination from there. Here's the 2-2. That's over to the right side in the hole. Tough play. Flores' throw is wide, and Hoover is aboard with 1 out in the 7th. So Hoover gets on. And the batter is Chris Newstrom. Now go down as an infield single for Caleb. He is now 2 for 5. Newstrom is 1 for 4. He has scored a run in this ball game. Big cut off the first pitch, strike 1. And to finish that thought on the NBC, with the Foresters winning their group a year ago with 2 run rule victories, set themselves up to a nice seeding berth against the Lone Star Kraken, dropped that game 6-4. But the way that tournament is set up, you win your first couple of games, but then single elimination from there. Anything can happen. You need to have your A game to keep moving on, to keep playing in Wichita. Checked his swing, down to second goes Hoover. That was in and out of the glove of Nishiwa. And as a result, pass ball puts Hoover into scoring position in this 14-1 ball game. Newstrom was actually the first man to face Griffin Rogers when Rogers entered out of the pen in the last. Newstrom singled off the first pitch to the left side. Can he do something here? Granted, behind in the count. To the left side once again. Newstrom 2 for 2 off Rogers. Picks up his second hit of the day. So Chris has had the number of Griffin Rogers. That puts runners on the corners for Cole Chamberlain. Chamberlain has had a nice day today. Reached safely twice. Doubled his first time scored. That's a fly ball down the right field line. Another hit for Chamberlain. He's into second base and an RBI double to extend the Forster lead. Chamberlain's second extra base hit of the ball. So here's Liam Wilson. He hits for the first time today. And for the fifth straight inning, the Forsters score runs. They've scored in every inning since the third, with 2 on, 1 out, strike 1 on Wilson. Wilson was a defensive change in the last half inning. Becker ends up going 2 for 3. What a day for Zane. 2 for 3 along with a walk. Scored 3 runs, brought home 2 in this 15-1 ball game, and an RBI chance for Liam Wilson. Quickly in the hole, 0-2. It's at that part of the night where, even from where we're sitting, once that ball's released from the pitcher's hand, it kind of just all blurs together. The lights are not great here, and any fly ball, ground ball, anything but routine now. Ball and 2 strikes on Liam Wilson. Janusik awaits on deck. Two from Rogers. And Wilson thought he fouled it off, but it's going to be a foul tip, and that's going to be a strikeout for out number 2. Couldn't tell if Nishi was able to hold on to it. He was, and that's a strikeout for Griffin Rogers, his 4th. So with 2 out, and 2 in scoring position, the batter is Brady Janusik. Brady is 1 for 3 today, along with a walk. Starts him off with the off-speed, misses away, ball 1. So with 2 down, Janusik digging in for the 5th straight inning. Again, Janusik's out of the 9 spot today. And he's digging in for the 5th time and for the 5th straight inning. The Forsters went in order the first 2 as a perfect start through Wyatt Toth through 2. Actually, both starters faced the minimum through 2. No base runners. And it completely changed in the 3rd. Started with a leadoff double by Cole Chamberlain, and then after that point, the Forsters never looked back. In terms of runs scored per inning, has gone 3, 6, 2, 2, and 1 currently in the 7th to amass 15. Here's the 2-1 from Rogers. Adam fooled 2-2. Should the inning continue, Aiden Camberg will dig in for the 2nd time in this ball game. Newstrom, the lead runner. 2-2 pitch is lifted to right. Wind moves over, but that ball is down. 2 more in off the bat of Janusik. It is now 17-1 in the 7th. Almost an identical situation to the 3rd. Big looping ball towards center field. Fell in between the trio. of second base, center field, and right field. So 1 on, 2 down. That's a ball inside at Camberg. A 3-run 7th inning for the Foresters. And Camberg gets his second look at Griffin Rogers. Gets ahead 2-0. Janusik, a 3 RBI evening. And a multi-hit game for Brady, along with plating 2 runs himself. So here's Camberg. Gets ahead 3-0. And we said his last time, Aiden's a guy from San Ramon. Started collegiately with UC Santa Barbara. Went to SBCC the following year. Was a second team All WSC North selection that year. This past year, 15 starts with Pepperdine. As Rogers gets himself back in the count, it's 3-1. With 3 runs in, 1 on and 2 out. Camberg gets on for the second straight inning, was hit by a pitch his first time in the last inning, and works a walk with 2 down. So the inning continues, and it's now Landon Schaefer. Landon pinch hit for Sawyer in the last, ended up going down swinging. A high strike, 0-1. And another guy that played with Arkansas this past year. An Arkansas native. Season 01. Fans on it, strike 2. And Landon was rated the #1 overall prospect and the #1 shortstop in the state of Arkansas by perfect game out of high school. He's actually taken in the MLB draft in the 20th round of last year's draft. He's behind in the count here. Schaefer bounces one outside third, will do it again. Taken in the 20th round by the Phillies. Elected to go to Arkansas. Keep it local, pretty much as local as you can get for Schaefer. And with 2 on, 2 out. The 0-2. Ball 1. A strikeout ends the inning. The Foresters tack on 3 more. This game's headed to the last of the 7th, 17-1 Foresters over the Saints.
Can you feel that? That little itch to get out of town? At Santa Barbara Airport, we feel it too. But when you're ready to trade the usual view for something new, don't drive to LA. Depart stress-free at SBA. With 26 daily nonstops to 13 destinations, we're one stop to anywhere in the world. Go ahead, scratch that travel itch. Just skip the hustle. Visit flysba.com and take off easy. Santa Barbara Airport. Depart differently.
Bottom of the 7th inning, the Foresters on top 17-1 over the Arroyo Seco Saints. Pitch and change for the Sturs. Will Jordan, right-hander, takes over. His first pitch is fouled back off the bat of Mangini. Strike one. So Jack Fowler goes the first 4 in line for the victory this evening. Henry Prindle goes 2. And it's now Will Jordan in the 17-1 ball game. A ball and a strike on Owen Mangini. 0 for 2. Mangini this evening. Ground out 1-3 and then grounded into a double play. But it has been an unbelievable offensive showing by the Sturs this evening. Whenever this game ends and whatever the score may be, having scored 17 runs between the 3rd and 7 innings. Here's the 1-2 from Jordan. Struck him out 1 away. Got him on a pitch down and away, 1 away. So with 1 down, the batter is Brandon Wynn. We last saw Jordan on the 27th in Game 1 against Menlo Park. Jordan picked up the save, actually his first save of the season, when he recorded the final 3 outs. Worked around some traffic. Things got tight down the stretch. He entered in a 3-run ball game. First man got on, reached on a single, scored on an error. And Jordan gets ahead 0-2 on Brandon Wynn. Struck out the first man he faced. Have to see at least 1 more. As that ricochets all the way down to first base off one of the light poles here at Jackie Robinson Field. And again, these lights are not great. Almost very grainy, chalky, not super clean and crisp. The 0-2 struck him out. Back-to-back Ks for Jordan, 2 out. Pinch hitter with 2 out in the 7th. Morgan pinch hits for King. That's in there from Jordan. Strike 1. And Will has been so good when entering in relief this year for the Foresters. Struck out the side in his debut. Got the save his last time he took the hill. Again, that was in a game that the Foresters probably felt like that they needed to win most than any other game this season after dropping 2 straight. Big 8-6 victory over Menlo Park. And Jordan Kane, the first 2 men he faced here, gets ahead 1-2 on pinch hitter Morgan. Did not miss by much on the inside corner, 2-2. High and away, ball 3. Should the inning continue, Nick Nashua, the scheduled hitter for the Saints. The 3-2 pitch, and Jordan strikes out the side. Fastball blitzed right past him. Jordan makes quick work of the Saints, and after 7, the Foresters on top 17-1 over the Saints.
During this time of record market highs and gradual economic recovery, it's essential you have someone you can trust. For 10 consecutive years, the Santa Barbara News Press Reader's Choice Poll has awarded Tremblay Financial Services recognition for the financial guidance they provide their clients. Tremblay Financial Advisors continually educate their clients with new options and financial planning tailored fit to you. For more information or an appointment, call 569-1982 or log on to tremblayfinancial.com.
Securities and advisory services offered through Centaurus Financial Inc., member FINRA and SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Tremblay Financial Services and Centaurus Financial are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including potential loss of principal. No investment strategy can guarantee a profit or protect against a loss in periods of declining values.
New pitcher into the game for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Joey Parrish makes his debut for Arroyo Seco. Addison Klepsch, first man up. Fastball missing down and in. Ball one. So it's Klepsch, Rutenbar, and Hoover. Scheduled batters for the Forsters in this 17-1 ball game. Final meeting of the year between the Forsters and the Saints. Klepsch today. He is 1 for 4. He has also walked, scored a run. One. That's spiked right in front of the plate. Ball 2. Parrish is the third man out of the bullpen today for the Saints in a game that essentially went south in the third. And the Forsters put up 3 runs and they never looked back. Having scored in every inning since the third, it has been all Forsters in this 3-1 ball game. And even though we are in the top of the 8th with this 16-run lead, relatively safe to say the Forsters will sweep the Arroyo Seco Saints in the 2026 campaign. Here's a 3-1. That's rolled to Flores. 1 away. So 1 down. And the batter is Carter Rutenbar. The All-Star. 1 for 3 day, 2 walks, runs scored, and an RBI. For the Swiss Army knife. He's been all over the field this season for the Forsters, and he gets ahead 1-0. And looking at the big picture for the Forsters, we have already touched on the CCL Showcase game, which will be on Independence Day this coming weekend. Rutenbar will be a part of it, along with 8 other members of this Forsters team. But this is going to be a July that will be road heavy for the Forsters. July 1 is tomorrow. The majority of the games will be played on the road. Only 6 more home games this season for the Forsters. Kind of crazy thing to say. Here's a 1-1. That is up the middle, off the legs of Parrish, and Rutenbar has his second hit of the ball game. So Rutenbar gets on in front of the DH spot. Caleb Hoover is scheduled, but it's now going to be Joe Sandusky to hit in the DH spot. Newstrom still standing on deck, the next scheduled hitter. Both 1-on-1 now. It's all about Sandusky now, hitting for Caleb Hoover. Had a multi-hit game. First strike, first pitch is in there at the knees, strike 1. And to finish the thought on Hoover, that automatic double brought home 2 runs in the 4th. Infield single his last time scored. So a nice day from the DH, and it's now Sandusky who falls behind 0-2. Joe led off in the last game that the Foresters played on Sunday in the 3-1 victory over Menlo. So he found himself in the top spot of the order. Finds himself today coming in off the bench for the DH Hoover. The 0-2 to Sandusky. That's fouled back on top of the screen over the first base dugout. Strike remains 0-2. Joey Parrish making his debut for the Saints. The 0-2 to Sandusky. That's down and away, ball 1. We said it earlier in this ballgame, but the Foresters, in terms of the CCL power rankings, have dropped a spot. They are now number 2 in the CCL power rankings after losing to the Slow Blues a week ago. Blues on top of the power rankings entering this week. Sandusky fouls it back, stays alive. And we said earlier in this game, I believe it was around the 3rd inning, right when the Foresters put up 3 runs, and then the explosion of 6 in the 4th. But for the most part this season, the offense hasn't been the question for the Saints. Granted, they only have 1 run up, but it's been the pitching staff and the ERA. And ERA entering today of over 7, and the Foresters going to do some more detriment to that ERA with what they've done today. 2-2 on Sandusky. And in terms of the Foresters' offense, the number on the scoreboard, and they've averaged over 8 runs a game this season, having pushed in 161 through their first 20 games. Here's the 2-2. And Sandusky goes down looking on a pitch down and away. 2 out. The favorable call for Joey Parrish on the hill. Sandusky frozen for out number 2. So a 2 down. Rutenbar at first. That's going to bring up Newstrom. Newstrom, nearly identical hits his last 2 times, rolled through the left side. As Parrish starts him up with a fastball upstairs, ball 1. Discussed it one of the earlier plate appearances for Chris, but recently committed to UC Santa Barbara. So congratulations to Newstrom after spending his first 2 years with Tennessee. Comes to the Santa Barbara area, playing under Bill Pintard, and he's going to stick around. Andrew Checketts in UC Santa Barbara. And Newstrom, one of the 9 Forsters, headed to Reno this coming weekend for the CCL Showcase game. Here's the 2-1. Breaking pitch, 2-2. Should the inning continue, it will be Cole Chamberlain, who's got a multi-hit game going. Newstrom checks it. No swing. 3-2. With 1 on, 2 down. And the Foresters scoring in every inning since the 3rd. They have not pushed in a run here in the 8th. 3-2 to Newstrom. That's to the right side. Here's Flores. The side retired. And for the first time since the 2nd inning, the Foresters do not play a run. And Joey Parrish works around an infield single. This game is headed to the bottom of the 8th. Foresters on top 17-1. Jordan back to work for the Sturs.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
Bottom of 8 from Jackie Robinson Field, right across the street from the Rose Bowl. 17-1 Foresters. Will Jordan back to work, struck out the side the last inning, and starts off Nishiwa with the ball upstairs, 1-0. So between Prindle and Jordan, the last 5 Saints to come to the plate have all struck out. The last 2 that Prindle faced, he got freer looking and ended the 6th on the strikeout by Zach Light. Of course, Jordan Kane the side. We're down the bottom of the 8th. Here's the 1-0. That is to the left side, and a base hit starts the inning. Nishiwa has his 2nd knock at the ball game. So 1 on, nobody out, and it's the DH, Sean Asperger. That's a base hit into right. So back-to-back singles for the Saints. But 2 on, nobody out in the 8th. And Asperger is now 2 for 2. Homered his last time. Single here, he walked back in the 3rd. So out of the 9 spot, the DH having a great game. And Jordan, after he could do no wrong in the last, has to work around some traffic here in the 8th. That's strike one. And we just told you with that home run by Asperger, a lone run on the scoreboard courtesy of the man who just got on base. It's back to the top for Flores. Here's the 0-1. Check swing. Jordan goes to first, secures the out. Runners advance, one away. Second and third, one away. Here is Panarisi. Panarisi is 2 for 3. Gets his first look at Will Jordan. Strike one. Jordan went right after him with the fastball. Ball and strike on the breaking pitch, down and away. After Panarisi, it's Jacob Freer. And Will Jordan trying to work around the traffic after the first two men recording singles off of him. Gets ahead of Panarisi. In the dirt, 2-2. Two from Jordan. Full count. First base open, one away. 3-2 from Will. And that loads him up on the breaking pitch, down and away. The walk to Panarisi, reaching safely for the third time this ball game, loads him up for Jacob Freer. Freer is 0 for 2. Walked in the 4th. But Jordan has to be thinking a ground ball ends this inning and takes us to the 9th. That's into foul ground. Long run for Schaefer, but that ball is down for strike one. To second, flips on to first, no throw. That's going to bring home a run. So Freer puts the ball in play. And it's now a 17-2 ball game. Runners on the corners, and it's now Zach Light. Strike one. Light is 0 for 3. to the right side. Here is Klepsch, and the side retired. This game's headed to the 9th. The Saints push in a run, but Jordan works around some traffic. 17-2, Foresters. Welcome back to Jackie Robinson Field. Lost the camera here in Pasadena. We'll give you the radio for the final inning. It is a 17-2 score here in the 9th. And for the Foresters, it will be Cole Chamberlain, Liam Wilson, Brady Janusik. And the count now 2-0 for Cole Chamberlain. Base is clear. Just underway in the 9th inning. Thanks for sticking with us here on the Foresters Broadcast Network. So Chamberlain is 2 for 3. He's also walked. Here comes the next pitch. The 2-0 is a breaking pitch, missing inside. And that's actually going to hit him. So a hit batsman leads off the 9th. So Chamberlain hit by a pitch.
Ouch, that looks like it hurt. This hit by a pitch brought to you by AltaOrthopedics.com. Got hurt? Call them.
So Chamberlain hit by a pitch on a slider. First pitch now to Liam Wilson, misses down and insides 1-0. Wilson hitting for the second time today in this 17-2 ball game. And the right-hand reliever, Parrish, back to work. 1-1 now for Wilson. The fastball is turned on and fouled straight back behind the plate. 1-2. So Chamberlain was hit by a pitch. Nobody out, top of the 9th. couple waggles through the zone for Wilson. Parrish winds up the 1-2 pitch. It is a breaking ball and located on the outside corner. Wilson goes down looking, one away. So with 1 on, 1 out, here comes Brady Janusik, strolls to the plate. The right-handed batter faces the right-handed reliever Joey Parrish. Janusik, it's been a productive day for Brady. He has singled twice, driving in 3 runs. He has also walked. Big day for Brady. So with 1 on, 1 out, Parrish from the right side of the rubber. First pitch, down and away. Looks like almost a hard slider. Ball 1. Completely under the lights now here from Jackie Robinson Field. 1-0 pitch is a fastball located near the knees. 1-1. Glance over to first base from Parrish, working from that third base side of the hill. 1-1 is a slider down in the dirt, handled well by Nishiwa, sliding to his right, the catcher. It's 2-1. It is a 17-2 ball game in the 9th. Approaching 9 o'clock local time here in Pasadena. The 2-1 to Janusik. Fastball upstairs. Ball 3. One on, 1 out. 3-1 delivery to Janusik. Upstairs on a fastball. Lost him. That's ball 4. That puts 2 on with 1 down in the 9th. And Aiden Camberg strolls to the plate for the 3rd time today. Camberg bats from the left side against the right-handed reliever Parrish. The lead runner is Chamberlain. In this 17-2 ball game, Forster's batting top of the 9th. Camberg has reached safely twice in his first 2 plate appearances, has been hit by a pitch, walked. Here's the first pitch, is a fastball in at the knees, strike 1. Top spot has been busy today. When Aiden Camberg came in for Ippolito, whose last time he left the yard with a monster home run. Here's the 0-1. Fastball and a check swing just misses inside. Great take by Camberg, 1-1. And Aiden, so familiar with the Santa Barbara area, native of Northern California, sees the 1-1 pitch. Slider down, 2-1. And the Foresters have been so good at just scoring runs today, it's been unbelievable. Innings 3 through 7, they have all plated runs. And with the lead runner at second, Chamberlain was hit by a pitch. It comes the 2-1. Slider again misses inside, 3-1. After Camberg is Landon Schaefer. Schaefer standing on deck on the first base side of the park, but right now it's Aiden Camberg. Parrish looks back to second, fires home the 3-1. Fastball is sliced up and behind home plate, and in the grandstands directly behind the dish. And the count is now full. And these lights here at Jackie Robinson Field, very grainy, not super crisp. So Parrish, after a couple of balls missing the zone, gets a full count. The 3-2 delivery to Camberg is a fastball lifted into left field. Panarisi's got a long run, and that ball falls right in front of him in left field. And Camberg keeps the line moving in a 1-out single in the 9th, loads them up. Now, I don't think Panarisi saw that baseball until it was too late. So the base is filled with Foresters. 1 out. And it's now Landon Schaefer. First pitch on its way is a high strike on an off-speed 0-1. Here's the 0-1 to Schaefer. That's in the dirt, handled well by Nishiwa, sliding to his right. With the bases loaded in a 17-2 ball game with one out in the top of the ninth. Foresters just looking for a little extra icing on the cake here this evening before they take on Conejo tomorrow on the road. Here's the 1-1 to Schaefer. Check swing on a slider. There is no swing, 2-1. Clock just hits 9 o'clock local time. 2-1. Fastball misses away at the knees. Ball 3, nowhere to put him. So Schaefer, an opportunity to bring home a run with Addison Klepsch on deck for the Foresters. Joey Parrish, the right-handed reliever, needs to locate 3-1. Swinging away and fouled back in the glove of Nishiwa. There was a fastball just off the end of the bat for Schaefer. Foul tip. It's now full. Bases loaded, one down. The 3-2 to Landon Schaefer. Fastball struck him out, swing and a miss. And 2 down in the ninth. So a strikeout for Parrish with the bases loaded, one down. And it's now Addison Klepsch, the right-handed bat, against the right-handed reliever Parrish. Deep breath on the hill for the reliever. The pitch is a high strike on a fastball, 0-1. Klepsch today, 1 single, 1 walk. Addy 1 for 5. 2 runs scored. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt, handled by Nishiwa. That ball bounced about a foot in front of the plate. Evens the count 1-1. In the final meeting of the year between the Foresters and the Saints. The Foresters winning the first 3. Actually, the first meeting was the closest. It was a 6-4 victory for the Sturs. And in this one, blew it open early. It is 17-2. Here's the 1-1. Fastball away at belt height to Klepsch, 2-1. Looking towards the bottom of the inning here in the ninth. Mangini, Wynn, and Morgan for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Here's the 2-1 to Klepsch. Fastball upstairs, ball 3. So the exact same situation for Parrish. Bases loaded, this time with 2 down. Nowhere to put Klepsch and a 3-1 count. Deep breath, the 3-1 from Parrish. And that is ball 4. Fastball misses high and away. That forces in a run and an RBI walk for Addison Klepsch. Makes it an 18-2 ball game in the ninth. Second walk of the day for Addy. And that brings up Carter Rutenbar. Bases loaded, 2 down. Rutenbar bats from the left side against the right-handed reliever Parrish. Here's the pitch. And a slider nearly hits him. Buckles the knees. Ball 1. Here comes the 1-0 pitch. Fastball dotted on the inside corner. Rutenbar kind of corkscrewed out of there just a little bit. But it was painted on the inside corner, 1-1. Parrish delivers the 1-1. That is rolled down the line at first, but it's foul. It was kind of walking the tightrope down the first base line. It was fielded by Light behind first base, but on the wrong side of the chalk line, so it is strike 2. The runners go back to their respective stations. Janusik is at third. Camberg at second. Klepsch, after the walk, which forced him to run, is at first. We lost our camera earlier prior to the start of this inning in this 18-2 ball game. Here comes the 1-2 pitch, and again, it was close to hitting Rutenbar, kind of turned away from it. And Rutenbar turned away from it and hit the edge of his bat. So the count is 2-2. And here comes the pitch to Rutenbar. Fastball high as Nashua had to spring up behind the plate. It's ball 3. So with 2 down, bases loaded. Everyone gets a head start. Parrish looks towards the plate, delivers the 3-2 to Rutenbar, and that's a fly ball down the right field line, and that ball is all outside of the chalk line. It was kind of lifted like a sandwich short over first base down the right field line. It went over the head of Zach Light and just kind of drew off the left-handed bat of Rutenbar on the wrong side of the chalk line, so it remains full. Everyone goes back to their station in this 18-2 ball game. So Carter had to re-grab his bat, reappears out of the first base dugout after a moment's hiatus, and looked like he broke his bat, had to retrieve a new twig. Been a number of broken bats in this game, but Parrish, again with the bases loaded, 2 down and a full count. The 3-2 is ball 4. Fastball misses upstairs, and that's going to force in another run. Second time this inning. A walk brings home a run and is now 19-2 Foresters in the 9th. So they remain loaded, and it's now Sandusky. The right-handed bat digs in for the second time today. Pinch hit, and the last for Caleb Hoover. At the time, Parrish was the benefactor of a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Got Sandusky looking. First pitch on Sway is a fastball high and away. Ball 1. Gamberg's over to third. Klepsch at second. Rutenbar's at first. Parrish comes set from the belt. The 1-0 delivery is a fastball away. Ball 2. In the bottom of this inning, it'll be the 5, 6, 7 batters for the Saints. But the Foresters have pushed in 2 runs. They have scored in every inning except the 8th, 1st, and 2nd. Scoring in every inning except 3 in this ball game. Here comes the 2-0 to Joe, as Sandusky sees a fastball away, 3-0. On deck is Chris Newstrom. I have to imagine take all the way here for Sandusky from the belt. Parrish brings home the 3-0. That is ball 4 and a 4-pitch, 2-out walk for Sandusky, and the 3rd straight walk with the bases loaded makes it a 20-2 ball game. So Sandusky forces in a run, and every man on base currently has reached via a walk with 2 out. Now conference on the hill. Coach appearing at the third base dugout here at Jackie Robinson Field. The batter is Chris Newstrom, the 9th of this inning. Parrish is making his debut. Will stay in this game. There have been 5 free passes in this inning. 4 walks, a hit batsman, and a single, along with 2 Ks. So here comes Newstrom. Strolls to the plate, bats from the right side. In this game that's completely under lights now, the surroundings pretty much all engulfed. Some light haze beyond the right field wall as we are in the Los Angeles area. But here's Newstrom, digs in. Digs in for the 6th time today. Bases loaded, 2 down. Here's the pitch. And a fastball's on the outside corner. 0-1. Chris is 2 for 6 in this ball game. Rather, 2 for 5. 2 times he has singled spin through the left side of the infield. Here's the 0-1. Got underneath it and a mile in the air outside the ballpark over the first base dugout and Kangaroos about halfway up the seats. Down the first base line. 2 quick strikes on Newstrom from Parrish. Bases remain loaded with 2 down in a 20-2 ball game. Here's the 0-2 to Newstrom. Slider down and away. Nishiwa, the catcher, having to slide to his right to make the catch. It's now 1-2. The Foresters' best record in the CCL South at 17-3. Head of the OC Riptide at 14-7. And the Conejo Oaks, who they play tomorrow, who are 10-7. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. The delivery is away on a fastball, 2-2. Parrish from the belt looks to end the inning. 2-2. And a fly ball that's back over the first base dugout, out of play. And Parrish and the Saints can't buy this final out in the 9th. 3 walks with 2 out. And the base is loaded. Another multi-run inning for the Foresters, having plated 20 runs in this ballgame against the Saints. Parrish looks home. Here's the 2-2. Fastball upstairs. Ball 3. So Newstrom takes a moment as Parrish stepped off. Looks into the signs from Nishiwa. The base is loaded. Another head start for everyone on the base paths with 2 down. 3-2 to Chris Newstrom. Is a slider away. Forces in another run in the 9th. And the 4th straight RBI walk for the Foresters makes it a 21-2 ball game. And there's going to be a pitching change. Coach strolls out of the third base dugout. Pitching change in the 9th. The Foresters now lead 21-2. We'll step aside. New arm coming in. Chamberlain coming up for the Foresters. Brendan Mullen enters this ball game, bases loaded, 2 out, in a 21-2 Foresters lead. Chamberlain digs in with the bases loaded, 2 down. Mullen just trying to find the final out in this inning. First pitch, the sidearmer is in there at a fastball, strike 1. So Chamberlain bats from the left side, the right-handed reliever. Mullen into this game just trying to record the final out here in the top of the 9th. Takes to the bottom in the 9th with the Foresters on top, 21-2. The sidearmer comes set from the belt. The 0-1 delivery. The sidearm will miss inside this time with the sinker, 1-1. Chamberlain today, well, see how many times he stood at the plate. He led off this inning, so Chamberlain digs in for the 7th time this ball game. Here comes the 1-1, and it's gonna hit him and force in another run. A hit batsman makes it a 22-2 lead for the Foresters as Chamberlain ditches the armor, try to spin out of there, and now trots down the final third of the first baseline to get into first. So Chamberlain hit by a pitch, and it's now Liam Wilson. First pitch is foul off the end of the bat. And just to the first base side of the ballpark near the on-deck circle, strike 1. So the last 5 have reached via a free pass, all with the bases loaded. Mullen comes set. Here comes the 0-1. And the side armor locates nothing in 2 on Wilson. But you heard that correctly. Chamberlain standing in for the 7th time. Unbelievable. Wilson sees the 0-2 pitch and fouls it outside third. Remains nothing in 2. Mullen delivers the 0-2 pitch, and that's in there, called strike 3, and the inning is over. But Santa Barbara in the 9th tack on 5 more. It is a 22-2 lead on to the last of the 9th from Pasadena.
Lee & Sons Plumbing and Heating is proud to join the Foresters family of sponsors this season. I, Conan, a third-generation owner, was proud to coach for the Foresters for several seasons. Just like the Foresters are champs on the field, Lee & Sons are champs off it. We're experts in every type of plumbing and heating service and repair, from leaks and clogs to heaters and faucets. Strike out your plumbing problems by calling us at 805-965-9586. Lee & Sons, the champions of plumbing and heating. 805-965-9586. Stir it up.
For a full range of outpatient physical therapy services, go to Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy. Our experienced and compassionate therapists, Bill Oakley, Alan Edmondson, and Andy Eubank, will provide you with a custom rehab program. For sports injuries, spine care, post-surgical care, and more, you'll enjoy our state-of-the-art facilities and receive a comprehensive program catered to your greatest physical potential. Alta Orthopedics Physical Therapy, where the Foresters go to heal. Visit altaortho.com.
This game's on to the bottom of the 9th inning, 22-2 the Foresters lead. Carter Spites takes over out of the bullpen, the right-handed reliever for the Foresters, facing 5, 6, and 7 for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Foresters 3 outs away from recording the season series sweep over the Saints, and the Foresters offensively 22 runs on 17 hits. Their previous most runs in a single game this year, that was 19 runs. They also had an 18-run game earlier this year. The Foresters put up 19 against the Conejo Oaks, but the first man digs in for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Bats from the right side, and it's Mangini. First pitch from Spites misses inside on a fastball. Sits low 90s on his heater. Here comes the 1-0 from the Bilt. The 1-0 pitch is another fastball rolled to the right side. It's Rutenbar to his right from first. Flips to Spites covering the bag. They make the play and link up for a 3-1 ground out. So with one down, that's going to bring up Brandon Wynn, who's 1 for 3. Wynn playing in center field, bats from the left side. Steps 1 foot in the batter's box, a couple waggles through the zone as Spites re-engages with the hill. And Carter from the Bilt. Gets his signs from Liam Wilson. First pitch is chopped to the left side, cut off by Landon Schaefer, the third baseman, and a laser over to first to get his man. Wynn had some great back-end speed, but Schaefer at third makes the play, 5-3, the put out, 2 down. So if the base is clear, 2 down. The batter is Donnie Morgan to hit for the second time today. Another left-handed bat against the right-handed reliever, Spites. And Carter looks in for a sign, comes set from the Bilt, working from the third base side of the hill. Comes the first pitch, is a fastball in at the knees, 0-1. Spites, the third man out of the pen after Fowler went 4. Prindle and Jordan both went 2. Here's the 0-1. Another fastball spiked right in front of the plate, evens the count 1-1. Foresters 1 out away from securing the season sweep. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. A fastball misses inside. Morgan had to scoot back just a fraction just so he wouldn't get hit. 2-1. Morgan hitting at the 7-hole and Spites comes set from the Bilt. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. There's a fastball in at the knees. 2-2. And the Saints down to their final strike here in Pasadena. Spites gets the sign from Wilson. Shakes off a couple. Gets the one he likes. Under the lights here, the 2-2 pitch is rolled to the right side. Klepsch to his right from second base. A sidearm throw is in time, and the Foresters win this game 22-2. The season best in terms of pushing in runs. Their previous best was 19 earlier this year against the Conejo Oaks. And the Foresters pushing 22 runs on 17 hits. And the final in this one, 22-2. And the Foresters win the season series against the Arroyo Seco Saints. We appreciate you sticking with us. It's 9:23 local time here in Pasadena. The Sturs just kicking off this road trip prior to the All-Star game coming up this weekend. We'll be on the road tomorrow in Ventura with the Foresters taking on the Conejo Oaks. That should be a good one. Tanner Grove gets the ball for the Foresters. As the starter in this one, Jack Fowler gets the win. He is now 3-0. For Sam Papp sitting to my right, operating the scoreboard, doing stats as well, I am Hunter Shoemake saying so long from Pasadena. The Foresters win this game 22-2 over the Saints.